On Monday, everybody, if you watch Monday Night Raw, you may have seen a promo, a vignette, and you'll probably be seeing it. You'll probably be seeing it this upcoming Friday on SmackDown, and I apologize for that in the background. That's the phone. I don't know why it goes off when I do these things. It's stupid, but again, we saw a promo on Raw. You're bound to see the promo on SmackDown, and you can see the promo here on the YT. But basically what we saw was the promo for this woman right here that you are about to see, Awesome Kong. That's right, or whatever her name is going to be in the WWE. We saw the promo for her, and there's a lot of people talking about how glad they are that she's coming to WWE finally. That WWE is finally going to bring her in. Some people, have the doubts about how Kong's going to be used. People are saying that Vince wants to push her. Some people are wondering how is he going to push her if there's not a good Divas division. And I talked about this briefly in my 6-minute video yesterday. I believe that promo when she flicked with her finger, the head of that doll off with the flick of her finger, to me that kind of spells the end of the current era of the Divas division. I mean, you're still going to keep. I'm pretty sure WWE is still going to keep the roster of divas. Maybe let a few go, but I truly believe that with Kong flicking that doll's head off, that's spelling the beginning of the end of the current era of the Divas. Basically meaning that fun and games are over. Twin magics, over. Flawlessness, over. I believe that's what it means. And it means basically now the Divas division is going to enter a new era, a new chapter, a chapter to where it's not about being strong, sexy, and powerful. It's about being strong and powerful and who's the dominant one. And there's a lot of matches that fans are looking forward to when she arrives, finally. A lot of fans are hoping to see Beth Phoenix and Kong. A lot of people are hoping to see Natalya Kong. Heck, some people are hoping we get a renewal, if you will, of Gail Kim Kong. And some are also probably deep down hoping, in some ways, if she sticks around, Melina Kong. But as far as the other divas go, it's going to be like, this ain't going to be pretty. Because I already talked about it recently. I talked about it in these videos. I talked about imagining Kong showing up against the Bellas. And the Bellas trying to perform Trin Magic on her. It's not going to work on Kong. Because she'll beat down, let's say she's facing Brie Bella. She'll beat her down to the point that if Brie rolls out of the ring and Nikki tries to come in and do Trin Magic on her, it ain't going to work. I mean, this is the visual I know we're going to probably see. I know that we're going to probably see Brie Bella unconscious on the mat, and we're going to see Nikki Bella probably power bombed or awesome bombed right on top of her, and that's it. Or maybe both will be awesome bombed at the same time. Who knows? But basically, the reason the Bellas got the title right now is to let at least, I think in a way it's like a reward for them, but after they lose that title, they're going to end up being nothing but jobbers. You know that as well as I do, especially for Kong. They're going to be nothing more but sacrificial jobbers. Now you say, well, what about the rest of the Diva roster? Well, here's the thing. You have Eve Torres. You have Laycool. You have Kelly Kelly. You have Caitlyn. To me, I think what WWE is trying to do is usher out well, not usher out, but kind of focus more on the actual women wrestlers, as well as because they got Kong coming in. I mean, here's the thing. I talked about this again in my 6-minute video. I said I feel that they got plans for the Divas division. I mean, when you have Eve, when you're doing a follow-up after Eve losing the title, and you have Eve saying that all the Divas are out for themselves, and they're not banded together, that tells me that Eve's going to try. I believe there's going to be some kind of storyline going there where the Divas are going to finally have to band together with the arrival of Kong. Because individually, we know that with a few exceptions, most of the Divas there won't stand a chance. I mean, again, imagine the Bellas in a match with Kong. No contest. Imagine Alicia in a match with Kong. No contest. Maurice. No contest. Imagine Layla. No contest. Michelle. As good as she can be. No contest. You know, Kelly. No contest. I mean, think about it. You already have fans that know about her coming, already creating Kaw versions or created diva versions of Kong, and kind of already living out on the SmackDown vs. Raw video game exactly what will happen when Kong arrives. I mean, imagine what will happen if they put her in the ring with Vicki. Imagine what will happen to Vicki. She'll get killed. You know what I'm saying? She'll get killed. But again, I think what they're doing is they're trying to me, I think they're trying to balance things out. I think they're trying to, I believe what's happening is they're trying to focus more, like I said, on the actual women wrestlers, while the ones that some people say are sort of like OJTing while they're competing, on the job training while they're competing, like the Bellas and Eve and Kelly and Caitlyn and Rosa Mendez. So let's not forget about her. You know, all of them that are OJTing, as people say, on the job training while they're competing. I think what's going to happen with them is they're going to be focused more possibly as maybe not just competitors in the ring, but more like valets perhaps in the future. So it'll be more like, okay, you guys had your chance, but guess what? We got to focus more on actual women wrestling. So maybe not, I don't know. But again, that little situation they had on Raw with Eve saying that all the divas look out for themselves and not, watch each other's backs, makes me wonder if there's going to be something going on to where they're going to band together, not just to get more respect for the divas locker room, but to band together against the force of Kong when she arrives. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that's the direction they're going. I mean, you don't believe me. You don't believe me. Then that's your opinion. You have that right if you don't believe what I'm saying here. But I feel that's what they're doing. Because don't tell me they're not going to do a follow-up on these vignettes with the divas wondering, what the hell are we looking at here? Is this who we think it is? I mean, come on. You're bringing in somebody that could take a talented wrestler like Yoshi Tatsu, and as good as he is, can manhandle him. I mean, honestly, to me, like I said, when she flicked the head off that Barbie doll or whatever doll that was in that promo, to me, that was spelling the end, counting down the end of the current era of the Divas Division and opening up a new chapter in the Divas Division where it's more about being strong and powerful instead of strong, sexy, powerful. That's what I believe that symbolizes. The end of the strong, sexy, powerful, and more of the strong and powerful. So, and some people were joking around saying that with the spring cleaning coming about, some of the divas are like, I ain't going to be in the ring with this woman. You're crazy. And they'll probably want out of the company. And, who could blame them if that's the case? But honestly, I do believe that vignette was sort of like a promo, was sort of not just a promo for Kong, but I believe that vignette was also a way of saying the current era of the Divas division as you know it is about to is coming to an end, and a new chapter is about to be written. In other words, the Divas division as you know it is about to end, and a new chapter, like I said, is going to be written, and it's going to begin. A new era is going to begin. And a lot of people are hoping it's sort of like in the era of what we saw in the 80s and the 90s with, women wrestlers and divas like Wendy Richter, Sherry Martel, Medusa, Alundra Blaze, if you will, Leilani Kai, just to name a few, Sable, perhaps in some ways, China. This is what they're hoping for. Because when China, in her final months with the company, she finally did enter the women's division. And she did become women's champion. And even though she was dominant over most of the competition, she showed that with the right opponent, she can have a great match. And she showed that at, I think it was, Backlash or Judgment Day, she showed that against Lita. So it all depends on the right opponent, and this is why fans are always like, we hope they make the right decision, put Kong against Phoenix, Kong against Natalya, Kong against Gail, Kong against Tamina. They're hoping for that, because I can guarantee you this. If WWE tells Kong, okay, you're going to dominate and dominate and dominate, you're going to be champion. Oh, and by the way, okay, this is what I'm looking at. I guarantee you the whole entire IWC community, and the YWC community, and the DWC community, whatever you want to call it, they're going to go nuts. And they're going to be blasting WWE if they have Kong, whether she's champion or not, while she's undefeated, because I know they're going to do that, have her lose to someone they consider is not an actual women's wrestler. I mean, you think they were upset a little bit when Eve was introduced as the fourth competitor in the match for the Divas title at the Royal Rumble? What do you think they're going to do if they have someone like Eve Torres or Kelly upset Awesome Kong and become champion or break her undefeated streak? What do you think they're going to say then? They're going to say it's ridiculous. They're going to say it's stupid. They're going to say it's not worth it. It shouldn't have happened. It's politics. But if Vince McMahon's high on her and wants to push her, according to some sources, then I doubt that's going to happen. I think if Vince McMahon and those that are that kind of give advice to him are in his ears, like his daughter and like his daughter Stephanie is, and like Triple H is, I think Vince will make the right decision. And if he decides to make Awesome Kong champion while she's undefeated, and then finally have the title taken off her, as well as have her undefeated streak broken, then do it with somebody she can have a good match with. And like I said, that'll either be Beth, that'll either be Natalya, that'll either be Gail, let her have a good, or even Tamina, let her have a good match with. Those are the four she can have a good match with. People know it. I mean, some people have said that Natalya and Kong tore the house down on the independent scene. We saw what Kong and Gail can do in TNA. And imagine what will happen when Beth Phoenix meets Kong. You got two of the strongest women in the company there. But anyway, to me, again, I feel with the Awesome Kong promo and everything, that's just spelling the end, the countdown to the end of the Divas division as we know it, and the opening of a new chapter in the Divas division when Kong arrives. So those are my thoughts on it, and let me know what you guys think. And just like anybody else, I cannot wait for Kong to arrive.